is the best way. Anybody trying to create their desired reality, anybody trying to manifest the life that they want, this is the best way to do it. Okay, and I don't know, I feel like this is like the easiest way to fasten up your manifestation, creating a character. And I made a little note on this morning. It came to me this morning. I have actually been doing this, but I never thought it in this particular way, in the way I have it on my notes. I never knew that this was what was happening. But yeah, character, creating a character is the easiest way for you to manifest a life that you want to manifest. For you to live in the reality that you want, for you to create a life that is more fulfilling than the one you're living, creating a character is your way out. Now, before we get into my notes, to my little notes, I want you to know that if you decide to do this, please do it well, because it works. Okay, this is what, to me, this is proven. This is 100%, because some of the celebrities that we know are using this. They are using this to create a life that they are enjoying right now. Okay, to create a reality that they are experiencing right now. So this is 100%. So yeah, I wanted to let you know. Okay, so yeah, creating a character. First of all, before you understand what it means to create a character, you need to know what a character means. You need to know what a character means. You need to know the meaning of character. Okay, let me read my notes. Character have different meanings depending on the context. So depending on what you are trying to say, depending on how you're using character, it has like different meanings. But to me, I feel like all the meanings of character are saying the same thing, even though in different ways, they all mean the same thing. So let me give you guys like an example. In storytelling, when you talk about character, you talk about the people in the story, the animals, the objects, you know, the beings in that story. That is the character. Okay, that's for storytelling. Now, if you want an example, movie character, Harry Potter. The person that played Harry Potter was playing the character of Harry Potter, was assuming the role of Harry Potter. Now, Catwoman is like my best character ever, and Catwoman was played by Halle Berry. She had to play the character of Catwoman in a movie, right? Who else? Terminator, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know if you get, these are people that were featured in a movie to play a certain role, a certain character. And that is character in storytelling. They might be playing the main character, they might be villains, like their character might be, you know, villain, they might be hero character, they might be supporting character, but you get what I'm saying. Characters are the roles that people play, they assume, either in movies or in writing. In writing, which book would I use now? I'm not really a reader. But you know what I mean. The characters in the book that you read, the names, the names, personality is being displayed in the book, those are characters, right? Music, people create characters in their music. So you get storytelling, characters are the people that are being referred to, the beings that are being referred to in it. What else other example? Now let's talk in behavior or in personality. Character means the mental quality of that person. So now talking about we human beings in reality, when people talk about your character, they're asking what character does he have? He's quite a character. She has a strong character. They are talking about the quality of your mental framework, your mentality, the quality of it. Let me give you an example. Now, when somebody say this girl has a strong character, what they mean is that everything about her is really strong, like foundation wise, her opinions are very strong and solid. You know, she does not like lower her standards. She does not give in into any manipulation. Like she's firm. Okay, people consider that to be like stubborn. But when somebody say this girl has like a strong character, this guy has a strong character, it means that they are disciplined, they are principled, you know, they are opinionated, they have a strong personality, you know, their identity is really. So that is it. When somebody say, oh, this guy is quite a character, it means maybe they are interesting as a person. They are interesting, maybe they look interesting, they speak interesting, they work interesting. That's quite a character. So when it comes to personality and behavior, character is our mental framework, okay? The quality, let me not say quality, just our mental framework. How do we think? How do we operate? How do we behave? You know, how do we, everything about us, that's our character. That is the character. Like right now, I might be playing the character of Vivian in this particular reality, you know, because you guys know me as Vivian, people know me as Vivian Okeke. But then that does not mean that I might not have different characters, you know. People create different characters for so many reasons, but we're going to be getting into that. I just want you to understand that in any context, when you talk about character, you mean the quality, everything that makes that thing what it is, okay? Now let's go into the juicy part. How can we use this into our advantage? This is it, okay? This is what made me create this notes. How can we use this information, creating a character, to our own advantage? How can we create a character, make that character come alive physically, and assume the role? How can we do that? Oh my God, is it possible? Do you think it is possible for you to create a character and assume the role of the character and actually experience what that character is meant to experience when they create their reality, like when they live, like when they come alive? Do you think it's possible? Because my note here says it's possible, okay? Let's go through it. Now, before I even say my note here says it's possible, a lot of you knows, a lot of you know people that do this, musicians that create characters and assume the role, musicians that use characters to express a different version of their music. If actors can act it, musicians can do it, politicians can do it. A lot of people are actually doing it. A lot of people are playing characters. In fact, what am I saying? I'm playing a character, you are playing a character, and how do we play these characters? How do we get to play these characters? From what? Our identity, our personality, our behavior, our personalities, everything, all the titties, like everything that makes us, our appearance, the way we speak, the way we talk, the way we walk, the way we think, most especially. This is what has created our character. This is what has created my character, your character. But I feel like I am rushing this. Let's go slowly with my notes. Creating a character as a way to become a better or different version of yourself is not only possible, it is actually something many artists, performers, and even everyday people consciously or subconsciously do. So yeah, you might be saying, yeah, I'm not a character, I am me. You are playing a character, okay? You are playing a character, I am playing a character, we are all playing a character. Now there are characters and there are roles created for a character to play another character. So yeah, we are all primarily playing a character. So creating a character, this can be a powerful tool for growth, for self-expression, and even for transformation. You want to be able to express the silent part of yourself. Creating a character could help you do that, okay? Musicians, they use it to express another type of their music. Maybe they are into R&B and they have a character in them that, or a personality in them that wants to speak up in a very dark, totally free, like saying whatever they want to say, you know, dark music. I'm talking about rock. They can create a character that do rock music sometimes. So yeah, they're not just R&B singers now, they are also a rock, you know, artist, but they may be under a different name, you know, under a different personality. That is them creating a character. So it is good for growth. You want to use it to grow, you can use it to grow. You want to use it to express yourself freely, you can. I am actually using it right now. I am, and I'll be explaining why if we get to that end of the video. Like if we get to the end of the video, if I don't shorten the video, I can explain why I'm using it. Okay, but I feel like everything I'm about to say is going to really explain why anybody should create a character if they want to change their life, they want to grow, they want to transform their life, they want to experience a different version of their life. Why you should create a character. Okay, so now we are going to go to why do people create character. So, hold on, serious noise coming through. Hold on. So people are about to leave the compound and the gate is open. So the noise they are going to make, I don't want that to affect, see this thing? I don't want it to affect the conversation because this is solid. You need to hear me well. Why do people create characters? Why is it necessary for anybody to create character? Why do people that do it, why do they do it? Don't ask me. Go and ask Sasha first. Okay, go and ask Roman. Go and ask Nicki Minaj why she created the character Roman. Go and ask Beyonce why she created the character Sasha first. Go on, Sasha first. Just go and ask. And if you notice, when they are performing as their character, they become a different version of themselves. They become a different version of themselves that the world cannot even relate to, like the world, the physical world, the reality cannot relate to. And that is what makes them more attractive. That is what makes them more dangerous. That is what makes them more expressive, because you don't know what they will say, how they will behave, what they will do. You know, that's their character. I especially love Roman. Anyways, let's get back to my notes. So why do people create characters? First, what I have here is to express a hidden part of themselves. That is why I actually created my character. To express. Now, my own problem has always been expression. I have always had an issue with expression. So when I tried to express myself as Vivian and it wasn't working, I created a character. And that character has been helping me express myself, has been helping me live just the way I want to live, without any cares, without any like doubts, without any saying, oh, what if they don't? Like, nah, the character I created is solid, it's strong, and this has been helping me be expressive. Yeah. Creating a character gives you a voice, give the part of you that is silent a voice. You know that part of you that is silent in your daily life, that keep quiet, that tolerates, that obeys, that is steady looking over their shoulder, that is steady worrying, or that is steady feeling a certain kind of way. This character helps you liberate that. Like, it helps you be able to express yourself in that part, in that silent part. You can be able to say what you want to say, do what you want to do, live the way you want to live. Okay, talk, walk, dress as any role of, you know, whatever you want. You want people to feel a certain kind of way about you. Creating that character is going to help you express that. You want people to see you and be like, oh my god, who is this? You know, you want to shake people's belief. You want to say something about who you believe yourself to be. Maybe your inner self is a princess and you want to live like a princess. You want people to see you as a princess. Create the character. You want people to see you as a gangster. All you have to do is create the character. Honey, express yourself. Create a character. If that's your goal, express yourself, then create a character. Now, secondly, why people create a character is to explore a new identity. That's why a lot of people create characters. Okay, this one is mainly for movie people that create movie, people that perform, people that write. They create characters to actually explore the feelings, behavior, or desire of, you know, another character, like a character, just to be able to pass a message, relate a message, or to even express their own desire. They create a character as a movie, or write it as a book, or sing it in a song, or draw it in a painting, or, you know, recite it as a poem. They create a character to do that, okay? So to be able to explore new identity, maybe not even their identity, something that they've not really explored before, like they've not really experienced before, to be able to get into the feelings, the head of that person, the mental framework of that particular character, that is why they create it, okay? And if you want to do that, if you want to explore new identity, try creating a character. Now that I'm about to talk too fast. Now, this works good also in relationship. Now, if you're in a committed relationship with a partner and you've been doing this for a long time, this is what I believe will actually help your relationship be stronger, like creating different characters, assuming the role of the character and just using it as your kinky time. You know, during your sex time, during your intercourse time, your partner could just create a character, assume the role, and just use it to bring out the fun in your relationship, okay? I don't know anything about relationship. Don't ask me. Don't mind what I just said. Please keep. I'm going to edit it because I'm not in a relationship. But when I was in a relationship, I always like to assume different roles. Like in my head, I like to behave in a different way when I'm with my partner, just to explore, you know, just to feel like a certain kind of person. And it only works, like it always works to me. It works, right? Now, to heal and reinvent yourself, you can create a character. This is the third thing. This is the third reason why a lot of people create characters. I'm tired of moving my hands, so let's take this back. People create characters to be able to heal a certain part of themselves, to be able to reinvent, you know, themselves. They create characters. Some people create characters as a way to rise above trauma, to rise above poverty, to rise above their fears, and to rise above their insecurities. I'm going to talk on poverty. A lot of people, you know, especially as celebrities, as influencers, as be it whatever, a lot of people you call your mentor, they might be playing a character and you would not know. This might not be who they are in reality. When it comes to physically, when you meet them, they might not be the people they present themselves to be on social media, because they are playing a character, they are assuming a character, and they are doing this because they want to be able to survive. They want to be able to get some certain things their way, to get some certain favors their way, because, you know, reality works on seeing, physical see, and not on, you know, instincts, or should I say instincts? Reality works on, they appreciate what they see. And for anybody to be able to solidly manipulate a whole lot of people, to be attracted to them, to want to do something for them, to adore them, to be their fans, they have to play a certain characters that society accepts. They have to play a certain character that they know for sure is going to bring people their way. And that is why it is always advisable to not judge anybody by what you see, or by what you hear, or by what you see them, how do you see them behave in public, because they might be playing a character. I don't think that makes sense the way I thought it was going to make sense. But anyway, moving on. Think of your character as a bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. So your character, or creating a character, is the bridge to these two things. Your old you, new you, that's the bridge. So this is the bridge that your old you need to cross to become a new you. So yeah, that's the bridge. That is what character is, creating a character. And another reason that people create characters is because they want to embody a higher aspect of themselves, and that is why they create character. You can design the character based on the version of yourself that is stronger, that is wiser, that is hotter, that is richer, that is more loving, that is more powerful, and then practice it in your daily life. And yeah, you become that version. So people try to, use that to embody a higher aspect, to start living like the higher aspect of themselves or what they want to always be. And yeah, that is why they create character. So if you're somebody that is always shy, you can create a character of someone that is confident and assume that role, and you become it. The more you do it, the more you become better at doing it. If you're somebody that feels like you're not attractive, you're not hot enough, you know what you can do. You can change your physical appearance. And when I say change your physical appearance, don't go to the knife, under the knife immediately. Try gym, try eating healthy, try other things that is going to work well for the physical you, because this is your mind trying to change. And try changing how you look, make yourself more attractive. There are so many ways you can make yourself more attractive or more hotter, just by changing how you dress, changing how you eat, changing your fitness, how you are fit. Like how, if you're somebody that is not fit, try working on being fit, moving your body always. All these things can instantly create a character of somebody that is what? You're buying the right clothes, you're wearing the right makeup. There are ways you can learn these things. They're on YouTube. They are available on different sites. Learn them and become hot. Okay, if you are somebody that feels like, okay, you are, what else? You want attention, you're somebody that people always don't pay attention to, or you want people to start paying attention to you, then do things that will bring attention to you. So all you have to do is create a character and assume the role and embody the higher aspect of who you want to be, or the better aspect of who you want to be, and become it. That is why people create character. Now, why did I create character for myself? Why did I create a character for myself? Let me give you a short story, because it's long, but let me give you a quick short story. The character that I assumed recently, or the character that I created recently, I have actually created this character back when I was a teenager. So back when I was a teenager and we had social media, that was when social media was coming. Like, that was the time that we started having access to it. You could go to a cafe, pay a certain amount of money, and you have a system to yourself, and you can browse, you can chat, you can communicate with somebody that is not in your location, somebody further from where you're staying. And because of that, I wanted to be like somebody else online. Like, I wanted to be able to express myself freely, without morals. Yes, I'll say that, because I'll say without morals, because reality, when I was a teenager, my reality back then was everything we were doing was mostly based on morals. How you should talk, dress, eat, do everything. So I wanted to be somebody else online, and I created this particular character, Stephanie. And this character online, I even created an account, email, all those things for this particular character, and I used this character to chat, with people, make friends outside, talk freely. And the more I did that, the more I started physically expressing myself. Now, I did that while I was a teenager, and when I got to university, I was different from the teenager back, like who I was when I was a teenager. When I got to 20, 21, 22, I started becoming different. I started becoming more of that Stephanie. And at one point, I think I switched Stephanie to Tiffany. And why do I use these names? If you notice, when you try to Google names of strippers, or you meet strippers and like their stage name, you always hear them answer names like Tiffany, Stephanie. And I have always loved strippers, like right from when I was small. I've always loved strippers, and there is a certain understanding I got about strippers, and that is what made me admire them more. In the society where I was growing up, strippers were the only people I felt like are bold enough to live their life without any fear of what people think about them. They were people that were less concerned about validation, and for that reason I adored them right from when I was small. If I watch something and I see people stripping, dancing, doing things, being able to like take off their clothes and dance and do whatever they are doing, I am like for that reason, when I started picking names as like, I don't want to call it my alter ego, I started creating characters. Stephanie, Tiffany was my go-to because I felt like Stephanie or Tiffany is bold. Stephanie or Tiffany can take off their clothes anytime, any day, and not be scared, and not even think about what people think about their body, and not even think about, Stephanie is somebody that expresses herself any way she wants to express herself. Tiffany is somebody that does better than Stephanie. But yeah, that is when I created Stephanie. Now, after uni, I stopped thinking as Stephanie, or like I forgot those characters until recently when I started struggling with expressing myself again, because now I started understanding more about the world, and I became scared of expressing myself because now there are so many other things that I'm scared of. I'm no longer scared of people's validation. I'm not scared of will people now like me. I don't know, like I was scared of killing the last reputation I had, and I had to remember Stephanie. I brought back Stephanie, and I'm like, Stephanie, I need you. I need you to come and talk, come and behave however you want to behave, and not give a fuck. And not give to, And in fact, the Stephanie I started assuming as the character is even better than when I was in secondary school, like when I was in high school. The Stephanie is better because the Stephanie is a talker and a doer. Stephanie is somebody that is intentional about the things she does, and that's the role or the character that I have created. And yeah, that's my short story. So why did I create Stephanie, or why did I bring back Stephanie? Like, why did I bring Stephanie back to life? Because I need her, okay? Because I want to express myself even better than this, and Stephanie is the only one that can take me to that height, and that is why she has to be brought back, and that is why she has to resurrect. So why are you creating a character? Why do you want to create a character? If you're watching to this point, it means that you really want to create a character. Why do you want to create a character? Is there something you want to talk about freely? Is there a way you want to live your life? Is there something you want to bring into your reality? Is there something you want to, is there a way you want to start behaving, dressing, talking, walking? What is it? Why are you creating a character? Let me know. Anyways, let's talk about how to create a character. How do you create your character? This is going to be short and brief. I'm going to give you like not so detailed, but something that you can work with. How do you create a character? How did I create a character? First of all, you saw when I introduced my character to you, I said her name is what? Stephanie. Nicki Minaj, Roman Zelensky. Roman Zelensky. If you know Nicki Minaj character Roman, you know that whenever she's rapping like Roman, she's always using her butt. She's always going Roman. Roman has that authoritative voice. So first of all, what I'm trying to say is you have to give your character a name. Once your character has a name, it automatically looks like something that is coming to life. Like once it has a name, now it's a role that anybody can play. Okay, you cannot create a character and that character does not have a name. Give it a name and it comes to life. So give your character a name. That's the first thing you should do. Next, once the character has a name, add a backstory to the character. Add a backstory, like a background story to the character. I actually haven't done this one. I haven't added a background story to Stephanie, like a real strong background story, because like I said, I didn't know I was doing this. Okay, I just knew that I wanted to escape as somebody else. Like I wanted to live life a little bit as somebody else, and I did this. So I didn't really give Stephanie a background story. I just made sure that Stephanie was expressive, which is something I wanted to work on. I wanted to be able to express myself. I wanted to be able to act in a certain way. I not even give two fucks how people are seeing it. So that is how I created Stephanie. So if you want yours to be strong, give it a backstory. I think I'm going to work on my backstory. I already know what my backstory is going to look like for Stephanie. I already know, because you see the way Stephanie talks, she doesn't give two fucks. It means Stephanie came from, her background story is strong. Yeah, so create a backstory, a background story. Give Stephanie, not my Stephanie, give your character a full identity. Give it a full identity. That's the mental framework and how it's perceived physically, how that character looks physically. Mental framework means give your character a belief system, give it an emotion, give it thought, and it has to be different from your regular the regular you. When you try to create a character, it should be saying something about yourself that you never knew you yourself wants to say, like something that when it clicks with you, you don't second guess it. Your character should be the one that expresses that thing, okay? Whatever it is. I don't know the weird shit that's going up here in your head, but your character should be saying something about the silent part of yourself or the unimaginable part of yourself. Okay, so give it a belief system, give it an emotion, give it thoughts, and also physical attributes, which is how it is being perceived physically. So how does your character talk? Create that, okay? How does she express herself? Like when she talks, her gesture, her charisma, her charms, her style, the way she works, the way she looks, her physical appearance. Your character that you have created should have these attributes, because it's going to help you assume the role better. It is going to help you use that character to its actual limits. No, there's no limit, but to its actual potential, not limit, to its actual potential, okay? Give it a physical attribute. Then once you have done this, you have created a mental framework for your character and also the physical attributes. Next thing you should do is try and understand the choices or what your character represents in your life. The choices that your character would make or what it actually represents in your life. If I do the both, it's not all. I'm not reading this right. Try to understand what parts of you your character represents, and also the choices your character would make. Are you hearing me? Would make. So understand for us. Try to understand the part of you that your character represents. What part is your character representing? Once you're able to create a character, you would know if you personally, who you are right now, lacks that. Once you're able to understand the lack that you possess, that this character has, understand the choices that that character will make, and then assume the role. That is it. That is it. That's what I have here. Make them choices. Make them choices. Once you understand what that character represents and the choices that character would make, that's it. Assume the character, make the choices, and gap the space. Gap it, like close the space with playing the character that you have created, which now your physical self or you living in this reality would no longer feel that particular lack anymore, because now you're playing a character that has everything that you wished for and you automatically have it. Let me say this, let me add this before I end this video. Now, to be successful with this particular process, to be really successful, make sure that whatever character you are creating, since it is an imagined character, none of the rules and regulations in this particular reality should affect that character. Not how people think you should talk, walk, dress, look, think, do. Not that, because now this is your character that you are creating in your head. It is not a general character, it is an imagined character, a personal, special, unique, imagined character that you're about to create. Now, the rules and regulations in this particular reality should not be applied to that character, because none of it is meant to. Okay, the rules and regulations should only, if you want to affect, it should affect the person, the character that is living here, that is not imagined. Because you are imagining this, because you are imagining this character should have a whole lot of superpowers that this reality does not even know about. Like whatever it is that you feel this character should instantly have, don't second doubt it, make it have it, okay? And in doing that, you will successfully create a character that is special to you, that is unique to you, that becomes everything that you have wished for. You create a character that can live in the reality that you want to live in. You can create a character that experience the things that you want to experience. Now, it sounds easy saying it, but it is real work. It takes consistently, it takes discipline, it takes intentional choices to actually really make this come to pass. But this is it. This is the key to changing your reality. This is the key to living a life that you want to live. This is the key to creating a life, creating an experience that you want to experience. This is it. It is working for me. It has worked for Nicki Minaj. It has worked for Roman. It has worked for Beyonce. Now, these are few of the artists that have used this. A lot of artists actually use this. Odogu. Who is Odogu? Who is the well-known Odogu? Burna Boy. A lot of artists always assume these roles, these characters, and they use it in their music to express a part of themselves. So it works, okay? It works. So yeah, good luck. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you in my next video.